gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Now we're hearing from the attorney of a 15-year-old boy who was shot by police over the weekend.
We're getting our first look at the young suspect, who investigators say is no stranger to law enforcement. Local 10's Christian De La Rosa is live in Miami with more. Christian.
Now, the young man's family attorney confirming his name and his picture to Local 10 News. The family is saying that they are completely so concerned over his injuries as he is fighting to stay alive here at Jackson Memorial Hospital.
So they're concerned with this little super gremlin's injuries. Meanwhile, he was tussling with the police. The police found a gun on him, and that's why they shot him. It wasn't because he was, just walking, or he was going on a jog, or, he got racially profiled on the street. No, this dude was in the commission of a crime. And instead of being concerned with this little super gremlin's injuries, the family needs to be concerned with his behavior and why he was even in this position in the first place. And this is what's wrong with the community. We don't hold anybody in the community accountable for bad decisions, life decisions.
Meantime, the FDLE is investigating, trying to figure out exactly what went wrong. The attorney representing the teen shot by an officer during an altercation over the weekend is sharing his picture with Local 10 News.
So obviously they're sharing the happiest, nicest, smiliest picture. He throwing up the peace sign, no gang signs, even though he was on demon time.
His family identifying the 15-year-old as Vito Corleone Venisse. They say he is still fighting for his life at Jackson Memorial Hospital, suffering injuries.
Why does this man have an Italian name? It's like they named this dude after a Italian 70s singer.
Injuries to his spine after being shot in the back. Miami-Dade police say the young man was driving a Dodge Challenger they were attempting to pull over early Sunday morning in the area of Northwest 56th Street and 22nd Avenue. Detectives say the teenager crashed and tried to run away along with other people who were with him in the vehicle.
Wow, could that Dodge Challenger, could that car have been stolen? Because I don't know anybody who's going to crash and then flee their own vehicle. And why is a 15-year-old behind the wheel by himself?
All escaped except for Venisse. He was caught by a sergeant who pulled out a gun and opened fire, striking the minor in the midst of a scuffle.
So they try and depict it as if he's running away and the officer just shoots him in the back. That's not what happened. They were fighting because he's trying to make an arrest, and this little gremlin pulls out a gun. This little gremlin pulls out a gun, and that's why he was shot.
Fire striking the minor in the midst of a scuffle. Investigators say they found weapons in the car Venisse was driving, adding the minor was armed. Miami-Dade Police spokesman Alvaro Zabaleta stresses his sergeant was forced to fire.
Tonight.
Facts. That sergeant was forced to fire, and I am glad that he did. I'm glad that he did. This is a justified shooting, and it's about time these super gremlins get a taste of their own medicine. See, if this young man would have got a hold of his firearm, he would not have hesitated to take that police officer's life. Let me repeat. If this super gremlin, this young baby super gremlin or teen super gremlin, if he would have got a hold of this officer's firearm, or if he would have got a hold of his firearm, he would have killed that officer. No doubt about it. So he deserved every round of that fire. Because if you're going to steal a car, go on a high-speed chase, crash out, then flee the police, resist arrest, and pull out a firearm on them, you best believe you finna get clapped.
Could have very easily been a tragic night for the law enforcement family.
So as we've reported, this 15-year-old has a criminal record dating back to when he was just 11, and most recently he was wanted for a weapons possession charge. And
so this boy been bad since he was 11. Wanted on a weapons possession charge, and the family is very, very concerned with his injuries. Where was y'all at throughout this boy's life? Because it looks like he couldn't stay out of trouble.
also burglary. I can also tell you again, his family very concerned with his injuries, and they are disputing police's version of what happened on that Sunday. Again, the FDLE still investigating, and we will keep you posted. We're live in Miami. I'm Christian De La Rosa, Local 10 News.
And now, concerning questions.
Obviously, two sides of the story here.
After traffic stop trouble.
The subject was armed.
This morning, a teen paralyzed.
He was running from the police trying to get away, and he was shot in the back of his neck.
Wow. And that's the attorney for this little super gremlin. Yo. This is what I'm going to say about these attorneys, but I'm going to hold off. I'm going to let him get his stuff off.
Police say they were forced to fire.
Miami-Dade police say that 15-year-old suspect was driving a car with guns inside.
But 7's Maricela Burgos tells us the teen's attorneys demanding answers about what happened once police caught up to his client.
He was shot right here in the back of the neck.
A teen's attorney points to the location where he says a bullet pierced his client from a Miami-Dade PD gun.
He was running from the police trying to get away, and he was shot in the back of his neck.
He's
Jalen Princel's. Now, you know that was a lie. You know that's a lie. But these guys, attorneys like this, they salivate. They salivate when they hear a story of a young black man getting shot by a police officer. Justified or unjustified, these guys are salivating because they know that he's going to be one of the main guys that these young dudes go to, these super gremlins go to get justice for the baby, justice for their baby boy. Hold up. Is that a Trump book? My guy's got a Trump book on his bookshelf. He got a couple Trump books on his bookshelf. Is this attorney a Trump supporter?
In the back of his neck.
He's referring to 15-year-old Vito Corleone Venisse, who remains at Jackson Memorial Hospital recovering. He's paralyzed from the neck down. Detectives say this started Sunday morning when they tried to conduct a traffic stop near Northwest 55th Street and 22nd Avenue in
55th Street,
Northwest Miami-Dade.
Once they activated their emergency lights, the vehicle immediately fled.
That Dodge Challenger crashed moments later, and everyone who was inside ran. A police sergeant caught one of them, who was believed to be the driver.
The detective confronted the subject. The subject was armed. Shots were fired.
Detectives say they found this handgun on the ground, as well as another gun and an assault rifle in the Challenger.
Wow. Well, I mean, it looks like these little super gremlins were keeping it 55th Street. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. But hey, man, you ride dirty, you ride with sticks. You try to draw your weapon on an officer, and you get what you deserve. You lose your ability to walk. You're paralyzed for the rest of your life, Super Gremlin. That's on you, bruh. That's on you. Whatever hoop dreams, whatever balling dreams you had, whatever dreams you had about walking anywhere, running in somebody's crib, doing a walk down, doing a walk up, your little street career in prison, it's gone. You'll never walk, let alone dance again. Nah, I'm just kidding. Y'all know you got served that scene where Marcus Houston, he got in the car with the big fat dude who was his drug dealer. He lost the drugs, and then he like grabbed his leg because he got shot, or he got beat up. What, I think they shot him too. But basically the drug dealer was like, I'm gonna do worse to you than what the Jack Boys did if you don't give me my money. That's where I got that from. Anyways, crazy tangent.
I did not get the chance to question him about the gun. He's still gaining his memory again.
So you took on the case and you ain't even questioned the Super Gremlin about his gun. You didn't question the Super Gremlin that he was carrying a weapon, but you took on the case, and now you represented him. I mean, I guess it's a good look for the brother to get some airtime, get some TV time. Especially, you know, the black community. They're going to be like, oh my God, he stood up for this brother. I mean, he might get some clientele. I mean, you know, it's a business move. I'm not mad at him. But he's definitely being super disingenuous. And like I said, he's race baiting. They salivate at cases like these because he thinks he's going to get a payout. But the little Super Gremlin was in the wrong. And you know it.
And after the incident?
Venisse's attorney says the teen is charged with possession of a firearm by a minor and resisting arrest. But police say at the time of the incident, he was wanted for firearms possession and burglary. Florida Department of Law Enforcement is now investigating the police-involved shooting. Body camera video will no doubt play a big role in this investigation. But if you ask the teen's attorney, he says his proof is where the teen was shot, adding he was hit from behind.
It says to me that he was not facing the officer. It says to me that he was trying to get away from the officer. It also says to me that it is impossible to attack someone if your back is facing them.
Maricela Burgos, Today in Florida.
Well, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement is leading this investigation.
Armed and dangerous. That's how Miami-Dade police describe a 15-year-old they had an encounter with earlier this month. They ended up shooting him, allegedly leaving him paralyzed. Now the teen's attorney says his client was not posing a risk to law enforcement. CBS 4's Carly Barnett spoke to that attorney. She joins us live with what else he had to say. Carly?
Wait, so this attorney says that this little Super Gremlin was not posing a risk to law enforcement when he literally was riding dirty, probably in a stolen car, multiple weapons in the car, okay? Crashes out, runs away from the police, gets ran down by the police, starts to fight with the police, tries to draw his weapon on the police, and he wasn't a threat to anybody?
Well, Elliot, that teen is here in the hospital tonight, and according to his attorney, he faces potentially life-altering injuries. Now, this all started as a result of a traffic stop. Police say in that car that the teen was in, they found 2 handguns and a rifle, but still, that teenager's attorney is saying that that shooting was uncalled for. The attorney representing a 15-year-old shot and injured by a Miami-Dade police sergeant says,
hold up, my man got a Gucci belt. Hold on, he getting money.
The shooting was unjustified, but saying the attorney representing
peep the Gucci belt. He said, I'm finna get this check.
A 15-year-old shot and injured by a Miami-Dade police sergeant says the shooting was unjustified. CBS 4 doesn't normally identify minors, but his lawyer is publicly identifying as Vito Corleone Venisse.
When you have a teenager who his back is facing a police officer who is running away from the police officer, we ask, how could this teenager have possibly posed a threat? to this officer to the extent that he has to use deadly force in making this arrest.
The arrest report says around 12:45 a.m. January 16th, Miami-Dade officers noticed a Dodge Challenger following a car reported stolen. Officers tried to pull them both over, but the Challenger drove off and crashed into a tree.
So the car was stolen.
Venisse, who police say was the driver, ran off.
And I bet they used those same guns that he was caught with by the police to steal the damn car. And why are they using all these nice pictures of this dude? He was a super gremlin on Demon Time. Show the full story.
The report says, quote, officers observed the defendant retrieve a black firearm from within the front pocket of his hoodie and continue running in a northwest direction toward an apartment complex. The officer fired a single shot.
According to what his memory allows him to remember as of right now,
that boy lying.
He was running away from the police officer. His back was facing the police officer, and he was not carrying a firearm at the time. And he was attempting to flee, and all of a sudden he was shot in the back of his neck.
Darlin Princelis also denies that Venisse was the driver, saying he was in the back seat. He says his client is alert, but at least partially paralyzed with a long road to recovery.
We do want to ensure that the Miami-Dade Police Department is held accountable for this wrongdoing. And
wow. The fact that he can say that with a straight face when you obviously have super gremlins on Demon Time. Look, if you jack a car and you're running around with guns and jacking cars, and these guns are definitely not legal, used by a minor, what do you expect? The fact that he even took on this case, it makes him look like a joke.
And we do want to make sure that this does not happen again to anybody.
Venisse also had 2 pickup orders. Those are essentially like warrants in juvenile court for...
Like, you know that boy was using them guns, using them sticks to jack the damn Charger that he's in.
gun possession and burglary, but his attorney says that his client has not been convicted of anything. We reached out to Miami-Dade police to see what they had to say about what his attorney was saying, and they directed all inquiries to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement while this investigation is ongoing. For now, live outside of Jackson Memorial Hospital, Carly Barnett, CBS 4 News Tonight.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.